Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Juan the Yarn Addict, and this is session number 44 of WIPn It with Juan. WIPn It with Juan is a session where I sit here, I work on all of my projects while I talk to you about anything and everything that comes to my mind. I become your crochet buddy for about 45 minutes to an hour, so if that is of interest to you, please sit back and enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and of course, leave a comment or two. I definitely appreciate the support. So the big question is, what is on my hook? Well, I have all the things on the hook. But for today's session, I do have a few things that I pulled, and I'm going to talk about them, and then we'll get started. So the first thing that I have here is my Irish Illusions throw. I'm doing this Boggy Creek style. I am making it for Boggy Creek. It's very, very nice. I'm on my third skein, and this is worked up using Premier Bloom, Chunky Big, and the colorway Bluebell. So hopefully I will only need 5 skeins of this. I am using an 8mm crochet hook, and I do have the tutorial for this on my channel for the left and right-handed crocheters. So the thumbnail image is of my Halloween version of this. So after Halloween, I will change the thumbnail to this. So there's that. The next thing that I have on my hook that I may include for today's session is this corner to corner. Now I'm not very excited about this, and I am making this Boggy Creek style as well. And I do know that I'm going to have to dress this up in order to make it very exciting. I mean, it's gray and 2 shades of yellow. It's like a mustard yellow and a bright yellow and just 1 shade of gray. And I am on my second Ogo. I was about to say third, but no, this is my second Ogo. And I got these at Big Lots when they were on sale. Now, I thought about frogging this whole entire thing, but something tells me that I need to keep going because there was some work involved here. So I decided to keep it on the hook. I'm going to make it a 40 by 40 square and then dress it up with appliques and things and make it exciting. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put on here, but I'm going to stay the course and see this to the finish line. So there's that. Now this project here, I am going to frog. I am pulling this back. My mom started this, and she wants me to finish it. She gave me the yarn to finish. She actually gave me 3 skeins in total. 2 skeins of this Pool Time. I believe it's Pool Time. Yes, Pool Time. It's Big Twist. And then she gave me 1 skein of this Safety Yellow. Her favorite pattern, as always, is the granny square, and I love that for her, but I decided that I want to frog this back and work the yarn up into another project. So we shall see. I'm going to frog this back, and then if time permits, I'll start something with this yarn. So that is what I have for today's session. I did not bring anything more than that, even though I am looking at other WIPs that I could pull. But for now, we're just going to keep it there. Okay, I have my coffee in tow. I do need a sip. Give me a second. So good. I love a nice cup of coffee. I have my Dunkin' Donuts shirt. But first, coffee. Okay, so I'm going to work on this scarf. Now, I mentioned this before, but it bears worth repeating. This is Lion Brand Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling Yarn. It is a thinner 4-weight yarn, which is why I decided to run 2 together for this project. And so, yes, I'm running 2 yarns together for each of the colorways here, as you can see. And I'm going to continue going until I run out of yarn. So I don't know how long this is going to be, but I started this last year, and it sat in this basket here all year long, waiting to be worked on. And so I recently showcased this on the channel, and now I have an obligation to finish it. So let's go ahead and get started. It's only 25 stitches across, all double crochet, very, very simple, and it's only 6 rows per color. It doesn't get any easier than this, in my opinion. The only challenge is making sure that your tension is correct for both strands of yarn. So if you have one strand that wants to wander, it's going to show. You'll have a little bobble sticking out of the stitch, in which case you're going to have to pull it back and rework that stitch. Otherwise, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. But other than that, this works up very, very nice. And with the yarn being anti-pilling, it's got a slight sheen to it, and it's very soft, which I really enjoy. So yeah, 25 stitches across, I chain 2, I turn my work, and then I go right into that very first stitch, and I continue going, and that's it. And then I change my colors once I have 6 rows, and it's so easy the way I'm explaining it. I'm asking myself, why didn't I finish it when I had the chance? It's because I wanted to work on other WIPs. I believe that's what happened there. So that's fine. Winter isn't here yet. I will make sure that this is ready for winter. And I may even showcase the hat on mat. I don't know, because the hat is kind of big. I started that hat before I started the scarf, I believe, and I was significantly heavier last year, and I didn't realize that the size of our heads change when you lose a significant amount of weight. I did not know that. I thought, it doesn't matter. My head will be the same size regardless, and that just is not the case. It is a little on the loose side, but I really enjoy the way that looks on me. So I'm going to stay the course, and I'm going to continue finishing this project, and I'm very excited to be able to wear it this winter. So once I finish this row, I will model the hat, because it is a very simple double crochet hat. I just ran 2 strands of yarn together. Yeah, that is super, super nice. Wow. Okay, so let me just flip this right side out. Let's not mind the tails. See, it's a little on the loose side, but you know what? I think it works. It looks cozy, it looks comfortable, and I really, really enjoy the color story here. So that's exciting. Okay. Again, the hat's on the big side, but it's fine. If I were to recreate this hat, I don't think I would make it that size. I would make it a stitch or 2, maybe even 3 stitches smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 rows completed. I'm on the 5th row. I think I just want to finish the red for this session, and then I will move on to another project. I want to be able to touch all of the projects while we are here for this session. And my tension is showing me that I went a lot tighter last year. Let me see. Is it just me? It's just me. I'm going to continue going. I remember using this hook, this very hook, so I'm not too worried. I'm staying the course. I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to find a reason to stop now. I'm too far along. So it's only 6 rows of each color, and then I can move on. Now, there were several suggestions in the comments when I last showcased this project here. One mentioned perhaps just going long enough to turn this into a cowl. And to that I say, it's a great idea, but I have all this yarn still to go, you know, and if I stop early, what am I going to do with all of that yarn? So I just want to stay the course here and continue going until I get to 7 feet or until I run out. So ideally I would go to my height, but I think I want to make this one a little longer just so that it has extra wrapping room and things. So yeah, let me just make sure I see all of the things. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. So it looks like I chained 2. Okay. Yep, chain 2. Turn the work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I'm on row 6 already. Wow. To be fair, I already had a row or two of red on here before I pressed the play button. So there's that. And I just realized that my tension on this project was very tight last year. I don't know what that's about, but it's okay. I'm going to maintain the tension to try and keep it as even as possible. Now, I did pull my Furls Odyssey letter J just in case, because something is telling me that if I don't maintain the same tension, my metal hook pulls a little differently, and so my stitches come out a little smaller with the Furls Odyssey. I could always resort to that if I need to. So just in case, I do have it in tow right there. So once this row is done, I am going to create a bunny ear, and maybe I should just attach the new color on and then move on to the next project. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. That's kind of my way of committing to the project. Let me count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, 25 stitches. Let me count down here. I just want to make sure I'm even. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep, 25. Okay. So when all is lost, just make sure you have the same amount of stitches going across, and then do what you need to do. So from red, we moved on to, let's see, this colorway is Pine Heather. That's the next color. So let me just pull the skeins out of the tub, pair them together just like this. And when I change my colors, I take the last stitch of the row and I take it back out. I put the loop back on my hook, and with the last stitch, I only do the stitch halfway. So I yarn over, I go into the stitch, I draw a loop, and that's it. And then I pull the new color, I go through 2, I yarn over, I go through 2. And it gives me a very clean break. Let me trim. Where are my scissors? Where are the scissors? Okay. So let's go ahead and tie that off. And now we are on Pine Heather. How exciting. It's only been a year since it's seen another color. Okay, chain 2. Turn the work. Let me put just a few stitches on, and then we will go ahead and work on something else. So that's 1 stitch, 2, and 3. Okay. Create a nice big bunny ear. I'm going to take the Pine Heather, put it inside of the project here, and just do like that. Okay. So next, I believe, oh, don't forget the hat. Next, I'm going to work on my iris illusions. The cadence on this is so nice. It's almost like autopilot. You just have to see, like, what row am I on? Am I on the iris row, or am I on the other row? So the other row has a sequence of stitches that kind of showcases that iris stitch in another way. So anyway, I am on the iris row, which I feel very strongly that row goes so fast. I love that for us. I love that for us. So I only need to get this to about 45 inches. It's 40 inches across. It's the max width allowed for Boggy Creek. The length is where I can play a little bit, because I can stop at 40 inches or I can go all the way to 50 inches. So like I said, I have 5 skeins for this project. So I'm just going to see where 5 skeins takes us, and if 5 skeins takes me to 50 inches, then that's what I'll do. But if not, I will stop wherever 5 skeins takes us. Just because I purchased the yarn for this project, you know, just for Boggy Creek. I don't have any other intentions with this yarn beyond this project. Even though I can work the yarn up into many other things, I just wanted this yarn for this. So I have to tell you, the streamline hooks are very, very nice. I do enjoy them. They're not for everyone. I do hear people mention how, you know, they don't like the weight of the hook and all other things. So I get it. This hook is not for everyone, but I also feel like not all hooks are for everyone. You know, there is a hook for everyone, but you know, all hooks are not universal, in my opinion. Just because I believe we all crochet differently. We have knife holds. We have, you know, soup ladle holders. But the way we all hold our yarn is slightly different. That's the fun part about crochet. You know, there's many similarities, yet there's many differences. So I find it very fascinating to watch others crochet, especially when I'm watching lives and things and they're also doing like whipping it with such and such, and they're there crocheting and I am not paying attention to what they're saying. I'm literally watching their hands. I really enjoy that. I'm like, wow, look at the way that they're holding that. And they could be like this, you know, and I'm like, wow, how are they doing that? So I'm sitting there with, you know, a scrap ball and a hook, and I'm like, let me try that. Let me see if I can hold the hook like that. And unfortunately, I can't. I tried. I'm very fascinated with the different holds of the hooks, and also there are some that hold the yarn like, I don't know if I can do it, but it's almost like this. They're holding it with their middle finger. I don't know how they do that, but I find that fascinating as well. Now my mother, she holds the yarn like this. She doesn't have it wrapped around any fingers. She holds it like this. And so when she needs her yarn, like she holds it like this, nice and tight. And I just find that fascinating as well, because I'm like, Ma, you can't even see your yarn. She says, I don't need to see it, Juan. I can feel it. I'm like, okay, Ma, whatever works for you. I mean, you have been crocheting a lot longer than me. She says, yes, Juan, I know. Oh, I'm very fascinated with the way Mama crochets. I mean, it's not groundbreaking or earth-shattering, but it's just fascinating to see the differences and the similarities in what we do with our stitches, you know, so I love it. Okay, I just need to go back to the beginning of this row to make sure that I didn't start the row differently than I ended it. That actually happened. I was deep into a conversation and I got carried away and didn't realize that I started with the iris stitch and then I ended up with the second row in the middle of the row I was working on. Okay, we're good. Like I said, the cadence on this is very, very fluid. And it's very comfortable to work. Now, the one thing that I haven't tried yet was running 2 4-weight yarns together. I like to do that a lot. It's a great way to bust through the stash, but then also go like boho chic. You know, it gives it a marled look, and I really enjoy that. So I'll have to try that. But what hook would I use? I guess that would depend on the 4-weights, right? Because Loops and Threads Soft Classic is thicker than Big Twist. Not by much, but there is a difference. And I feel like if I ran 2 Big Twists together, I would almost have to use a different hook size than I would if I had ran 2 skeins of Big Twist. At least that's what I think. I don't know. I haven't tested that theory out yet. That might actually be a video. Let's run some yarn together and see what hook works best. all the ideas, friends. So the one thing that I do like about the skein that I'm working with is the yardage on the ball. So if you go to Premier Yarn's website, they do offer this yarn, but it's half the size. This big ball, this big version, I can get at Walmart. Now, it's almost twice the price, but it's very convenient to have that much yarn, readily available at the big box store for projects and things. So no wait time needed for a package to arrive, which is nice. So there is that. Now, I think what I'm going to do is after I do this modified row, I'm going to hop on over to the project that I want to frog. I'm very excited to put that to bed. I feel bad because I started that for Mom because her vision is going, and she just wanted me to create a foundation for her to work off of, which I absolutely don't mind. She could ask me to do that for every one of her projects, and I wouldn't mind. But I think when she started working with the blue, the pull time, the color was too dark for her, and she started missing stitches and things. And when she noticed it, she said, "You know what, Juan? I can't do this one." So she gave it to me, and she wanted me to work it. So I went to her before I started today's video, and I told her, I said, "I just want to let you know, the blanket that you gave me to work on, I'm going to frog that." Of course, she asked why, and I told her, I said, "Well, I want to make sure that the stitches are right, and also I have other projects that I could work up using that yarn that I think would look pretty awesome." So she said, "Sure, go ahead, that's fine." Besides, she's going to ask me to do that to maybe 10 or 11 other things. So it's fine. I'm sure I'm going to get more of her projects, which, again, as I mentioned, I don't mind at all. So, yeah. So what else am I putting on the hook? Well, first of all, what is on your hook? What do you have going right now? How many WIPs do you have? Do you have all the WIPs like me, or are you controlling your projects? Now, I do have a book that I should be recording all of the things in, but I find myself in creative mode and I just create these projects on a whim. Like, I could be working on a project and then I get this idea, I put the entire project down, I go pull scrap yarn, and I start working up the design. And before you know it, 3 hours have passed, and there are 3 hours that that project just lost. So, yeah, such is my life. That's just what I do. I just keep scrap yarn around me at all times. When the ideas hit, I start playing. And when something works, I create projects. And I love that. So I don't know if I should have a separate record of that. I don't know. I do like that organized chaos because I do have organization to my chaos. The only time that that gets disrupted is when I leave a project sit for too long. Like, I have to be able to keep tabs on it. Sometimes I lose that. Such is the case with the hat and the scarf. Like, it sat there for like a year. I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, how did I leave this sit for an entire year? With it only being 6 rows of double crochet, there's absolutely no reason why that project had to sit for that long, considering all the other things I've completed this year. But that is okay. I'm giving myself grace, and I'm just going to keep pressing forward. Just keep stitching. So I'm going to finish this row, and then we will jump over to pull time blanket, and then we will make it disappear into thin air. Now, I do have my ball winder here. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to just ball it up or put it on the ball winder. I'm not sure yet. Let me see, where am I? Just a few stitches to go, and then I can hop right on over to that. Come on, Juan, you can do it. By the way, the hook that I'm using is a letter L. Frills Streamline, letter L. And I have to tell you that I really do enjoy the Frills hooks. There are only a few hook types that I don't really care for. And I've mentioned that many, many times. But with that being said, I'm still discovering hooks for the very first time. So I've ordered the Edimo hooks. I've never tried them. So I have to try them because maybe I'll like them, maybe I won't. I had a pack of Prim metal hooks come in from the UK. I ordered them from hobbyrocks.co.uk, and I tried them, and while they did not work for me, my mom absolutely loves them. So yeah, she now has more hooks in her stash there. Okay, bunny ear. That was a long bunny ear. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this up. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so there is that project. Okay, let's move on over to this. So I think what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Let me pull this back to the color break. The other thing too is some of these stitches are not correct. So there should be 3 doubles, and some of these only have 2. Some of them have 4. And I noticed that when we hit the darker areas of pull time, that's where I'm seeing the mistakes. It was just too dark for her. And she got the opportunity to work with her favorite color. So I know she enjoyed this. Now I was trying to get Mama to maybe change up her pattern because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way she's constructing this. She's doing 3 doubles and then chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1. Nothing wrong with that. But to minimize the size of the holes, I was going to ask her maybe not place a chain in between the 3 doubles, just to see what that looks like for her, you know. But I said to myself, no. If that's how Mama does it, let her keep it the way she does it. Because that's the way she likes doing it. So yeah, if it's not broken, we're not going to fix it. So I quickly changed my mind on that. All right. So let me just go ahead and cut that knot. Scissors. Okay, so I'm going to sit you right there. And there was only 1 round of this yellow, so I will go ahead and ball this up like so, like this. This might be a little more involved than I'm thinking, and that's okay. It's fine. But yeah, frogging work back isn't always the best of times, but it's necessary. And I'm okay with that. The stitches get caught sometimes, and it is what it is, right? I feel like once this gets frogged back, I'll be able to reuse 100% of this yarn. I don't like wasting yarn by any means. If there's a way for me to preserve or even amigurumi stuffing, like I'll take the leftovers and cut them into little bits and then put them into sandwich baggies, and I'll label them amigurumi stuffing, and I'll give them to my Ami friends. So yeah, and you know, it works great. I feel you can even take the amigurumi stuffing yarn leftovers and mix it with polyfill. You know, it doesn't have to be all leftovers. It could be a hodgepodge of whatever that particular project needs, you know. So here we are. at another color break. So I'm going to trim. Sit that there, sit this there. And what am I going to do? I'm going to tie this to this. So this color can be one continuous strand. Now I did this part here, and if I were to start over using the granny square, I probably would have left the centerpiece there, but I'm even going to take that out. So what am I going to work up? Well, I have a pattern that I haven't released yet that I'm thinking about working up with this yarn, which the original pattern that I created, I have worked up with a vintage variegated colorway and white. So this is going to give it a different look, being as though it's safety yellow and pull time. So we shall see. I'm going to play with it behind the scenes, and if I like what I see, then I'll continue on. If I don't like it, then I'll choose other yarns. And that tutorial will be out soon. I have other tutorials I need to put out first. I've been sitting on several tutorials. I love recording tutorials. I love designing. And what I do is I create a pattern using what I call muslin yarn. It's almost like when a clothing designer uses muslin on a dress form. I use what I call muslin yarn, and I use, where is it? Down here, I don't know if you can see it, but I use this. So Red Heart Super Saver Aran, and I sit there, or if I have a leftover skein just sitting there taking up space, I'll pull that, and then I'll just start crocheting up a pattern idea that I have written down. And yeah, if it works, then that's just how that happens. And yeah, so I don't waste any part of the yarn. Anyway, with that particular project, I started with white. I had leftover white just sitting in a basket. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, this is working. It's looking nice. I love this. So I went ahead and continued on. And then I said, I need to put something with this because I can't just create a white blanket, you know? So I went through my vintage variegated yarns and I said, you know what? This is perfect. And so, yeah, I didn't have much of it. I had maybe 2 cakes of it. Cakes like, I want to say this size, maybe a little smaller. So it wasn't much, but it was enough for me to be able to create a nice replica of what a full-size blanket would look like, you know. So when I recorded the tutorial, I used Red Heart Super Saver Aran. I like doing that so everyone can see the stitches. So, yeah. And so I'm going to release that shortly, but I have others that I want to release. I guess I'm trying to get everything done in sequential order. So the ones that have been sitting around the longest, I need to get released. I'm not sure. Who knows? I may release it this weekend. I may release it next weekend. I don't know. But I do need to get them out there because they're just sitting on my channel waiting to be turned on. So there is that. Okay. There we go. We're getting there. As it gets smaller, it gets faster. I love that part. Okay. I need to get a new hat on Matt. So I'm going to have to design another hat. I think the Matt Hatter beanie is nice. He's got mine on. He doesn't even have his own hat on. I created 2, one for me, one for him. You know, so there's that. And once I have some other things taken care of, I will sit at the tutorial table and design another beanie and put that out there. Jeez. Okay. Give Mother grace. It's gonna be fine. She loves this colorway too. That's what really has me. I'm like, she loved this. And the fact that the dark blue is too much for her, that disturbs me a little bit, but it is what it is. I said, Ma, there's other blues. We have sky blue, we have cyan blue, we have bluebell. There's many colorways of blue that we could use, and she can get her fix. So it's just sad that royal blue, midnight blue, pool blue from Red Heart Super Saver, the one that's discontinued, it's like a deep blue green. She can't see that. To her, it's like hodgepodge. It's like mashed potatoes, you know? So I have to keep the colors light. I don't know how she does it with the other colors. Like, for some reason, dark blue is a thing, right? But I've seen her work with like a mocha brown. And I don't know if she's just feeling the stitches. I'm not sure. But yeah, for some reason, the blue is the colorway she's having the most issues with, the dark blue. So I'm on the last color change. Yay. Progress, progress. I love this for us. Okay. Let me just tie this up. All right. I think I just messed this up. Let me try this again. Okay. So, how early do you guys start planning projects for Christmas or for the holidays? If you don't observe Christmas, maybe you observe Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, maybe none of them. Maybe you just celebrate the season, you know, the winter. So how early or how soon do you all start those projects? I ask because I have already started. I just haven't rolled anything out yet. So, yeah, I'm curious. Curious to know, is it too soon to start rolling out winter projects? I don't think it is, because a lot of the projects that are coming across the YouTube streets, my channel included, would make amazing gifts. You know, great gift ideas. Hat and scarf set, what you saw there. I have shawls. I have triangular scarves and things. So lots of things coming down the pipeline. Lots of things that are just sitting on my channel. Feel free to check through my playlist of tutorials. I have tons of things in there. Also, if you're interested in learning a stitch or two, I have what's called the Yarn Addict Stitch Academy. I have tons and tons and tons of stitches that I have placed on that part of the playlist. And I keep the swatches down here. So in a moment's notice, I can literally just show you a stitch and talk about it. Very, very nice. This is that Mainstays anti-pilling yarn. Super, super nice. And it's in the colorway Mint. Very nice. I have another one here. This is nice too. It's very stretchy and squish. This is Loops and Threads Ombre. I wish the gradient was a little less intense, but you can clearly tell the striping in that. Anyway, let me put this back. I'm going off on a tangent again. And I just realized, and I don't know if any of you guys mentioned this to me sooner, but whenever I sit in my studio for an extended period of time, I get very stuffy and nasally. Well, yes, I do need an air purifier, but also I'm sitting next to natural fibers. This entire section is all natural fibers. And there's a lot in here. And I have top and bottom, and then I have another unit on the other side of the studio where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections like this, all filled with natural fibers. So this whole room is like a fiber fest. A natural fiber fest. And then I have fibers just sitting over here on top of my printer, like for decoration, because I just love looking at it all. So there is that. And then I have, you know, stuff down here. It's literally all over the place. I love that for us. Let me just move my cup of coffee. So good. I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to cake this up later, but I'm going to put it on my table here. Okay, so there's that. All right, so we're 40 minutes in. I'm going to work this corner to corner just a little bit, just so that I can say, you know, I put it on the hook. We did a few stitches and then we moved on. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you on this one. I've wanted to frog this for quite some time. The reason why I'm not frogging it is because look at everything that I've done so far. You know? But it's not the most attractive blanket. I was thinking of putting like red appliques on here. I thought about putting a squirrel nut on here, like an acorn. There's many different things that I can do with this. It is going to require some TLC to really liven it up. It's very ho-hum right now. I get that. I accept that. You know? 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Should I frog this blanket? I'm very wishy-washy with this. I'm not inspired with this. I bought the yarn because it was $1.60 or $1.80 for one Ogo, and I wanted to do something with it. I definitely don't want to make it for the house. I thought about making it for Boggy Creek and then just giving away the rest of the yarn. I have 8 of the Ogos. I have 8 of them. So do I just finish this as a 40 by 40 square and then give away the rest of the Ogos, or what? Yeah, sound off in the comments and tell me. Actually, I'm not going to put another stitch on this because I'm just that undecided. Yes. I'm just going to do the bunny ear like that. Yeah. I'm not committed to this now. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I want to like this. I want to like it, but it's just not, it's not giving me what I need it to give me to feel inspired to continue going. And I believe that is okay. Not every project will be the groundbreaking project that would just, you know, make everyone stay. So I'm going to set that over here. So hopefully that pull time yarn doesn't knot up. I'm going to work on that as soon as this video is done. What do I have in this Michaels bag? Oh, these are the whips I've shown in the other video. Okay. I do need to figure out what I'm doing with this too, but one thing at a time. There's this crescent scarf. I'm going to frog this and rework it. There's a crescent to this, right? But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on what I'm showing here. So in the bag it goes. So there's that. Okay. Okay, so I believe that is all for this session. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to do the things like, share, subscribe. And that is it. So until the next one, take care, guys. Bye.